It's crazy. I never seen no shit like that. I went to I ain't go to the little after hour parties, you know what I'm saying? But did it through a lot of little parties and shit that I went to, you know. But yeah, I ain't seen no weird ass like that, you know. That kind of fucked me up, you know, like damn, them freakazoid like that, you know what I'm saying? And woo woo. But I guess they try shit with they know fall for this shit. When he first started with Dre, when Dre first let me hear his shit, I was like, man, that be jamming. You know what I'm saying? I kept saying, this jamming, this jamming. He kept saying, it ain't no nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, and then we go back the next day. He played this shit again, played this shit for Snoop. And I don't know, it just, when I first heard this shit, I was like, that's bad right here. You know what I'm saying? And shit, once me and him started getting cool and shit, in probably like 3 months, this was the biggest thing in America. You knew you had to go out there and fight, you know what I'm saying? But you let a fight another day. A lot of scared to get their ass whooped, you know what I'm saying? They feel like, oh, I gotta shoot this woo woo woo. But then you gone, you done and then they gonna kill your ass if they people catch up with you. Cause where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hurt it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a 24-hour turnaround where I'm from, you know, and you know, just go on emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I'm tough. I'm so I'm finna do this, you know, and that dumb as a you know, and you don't realize the shit till they lock your ass up. Once I really realized, man, you went on tour with this, you did this, but my whole life I always been wanted. When I went on the Up and Smoke tour with Dre now, I was wanted. I couldn't go to Canada because I was scared. You know what I'm saying? They was gonna lock me up. And Dre was like, "Man, you kill somebody?" And I was like, "Nah." You know, I'm trying to, you know, like hell nah, don't think about my shit. You know, I'm wanted. Just leave it at that. But my whole life, now I'm just now starting to get to see what it feel like for the police not looking for me to not be running around and trying to sell dope. And they snatch them out the car. Get out, driver. Woo, woo, woo. Get out. And shit. So I'm trying to get out too. And they tell me, now, if you keep moving, we're going to shoot you. He snatched me out the car and shit. Like, why you shoot this man? I'm like, man, what you talking about, man? I ain't shot nobody. And they steady, do he got any more hostages in the car?
Gotta stay on my grind and get my money right. Gotta make sure me and my brothers hustle through the night. Me and my niggas, we gon' swing, we gon' blow that pipe. Hop out on your block with thunder clapping when we make it strike. Hop on feet, hop out, give 'em smoke, gon' be a candle.
Man, Six Deuce, man, welcome back to the platform.
Man, what the business, man? What the business?
Man, so a lot of stuff has happened, man, since the last time you sat down. But before we get to that, I want to kind of reintroduce you to all the watchers, subscribers, and listeners. You are a legend in the city of Fort Worth, a legend in the rap game in general. You were part of the legendary group Genocide. You also went on to do big records with Dr. Dre, DOC. You wrote for Timberland, Justin Timberlake, with Carrie Hilson.
Yeah.
You had dealings with Cash Money, Diddy. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on. Just for the listeners that don't know, you need to go tap in, check out his story, and check out his music. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of reintroduce you to the listeners.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, like you say, they call me 6'2", you know what I'm talking about? Man, I did music with and for a lot of people. Um, I started with, well, we started with the HAN, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we made a group called Genocide, and that made a lot of noise with Greg Street, and it went on to with Dre, and the list go on, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm talking about? I'm just a piece of the puzzle.
All right, so I mentioned you being from Fort Worth, so I'm gonna just kind of start it off like this. What do you think about the representation of Fort Worth at this moment? So Fort Worth's getting a lot of light shined on it.
Yeah.
So what do you think about what's going on in the city right now?
I mean, as far as the music, yes, a lot of making noise. Yeah, I ain't gonna name because I don't want nobody to be like I left them out because it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Um, representation as a whole, it's a lot of little weird going on, you know, to where we get a bad jacket put on us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this Merktown, you know, the mixed up city and whatnot, but that ain't what we all about, you know. It ain't about just each other. That shit go on, but nowadays that shit is a lot of little corny shit, you know what I'm saying, and unnecessary bullshit. So I don't like that part, you know what I'm saying, and that's what genocide was about, you know, trying to wake up because the generation before us was telling us, man, cut that shit out, woo woo. So we put it in the music to try to teach them, and now we the that's the older generation trying to tell them cut that shit out, but they ain't trying to hear it. But for the talent, yeah, they hard, man, and I feel like they just need to be heard. You know, it's just like told me. Sometimes you need a hug. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of need a hug because once you grab their ass and pull them in, watch how they break down. You know what I'm saying? It's just uh, yeah, they mind don't think outside the box like you expect, but you know, far as you know, the drive and the talent and like that, that's a bad, you know what I'm saying? So that part.
All right, cause someone like you would definitely you're like a founding father, right? When it comes to Fort Worth, you are like the foundation of the Fort Worth as far as the music goes, right? So seeing that back then, seeing everything progress to what it is now, it has to feel good knowing that this was everything like you, like L Dog, even Twisted Black, the Bullet Phases back then, the OBGs, everyone was working this foundation, right, to kind of get it to this point now where there's the recognition of the city with the music. So how does that feel knowing that y'all really achieved that?
It feel good, you know what I'm saying? People still come up to me and be like, man, I grew up on y'all, you know what I'm saying? My uncle used to listen to y'all shit. My daddy, you know what I'm saying, listen to y'all shit. He the one put me on. That shit feel good. You know, even though um I feel like a lot of people didn't receive the message that we were trying to give people back then, you know. So we stood on what Fort Worth, you know, was or whatever, or is, you know what I mean? So I mean, in certain situations, I kind of feel responsible for a lot of shit that's going on because all we talked about was what we was going through, but we kind of didn't give them the full, you know what I'm saying, the full picture of, okay, yeah, we doing this and doing that, but this the ins and outs of the shit. So I kind of feel responsible for a lot of that, but at the same time, wrong, and I feel like she, you know, just like we had, yeah, got to bump their head, but yeah, we had to learn too, you know. But before this get out of hand, I feel like, yeah, we got to do something right quick.
So, what would be your message to the youth of Fort Worth right now, even in the music scene? What would be your message to them? Advice you would give to them about the music scene and even in the streets?
Mm. Far as the music, use your talent before they on, before your ass get locked up or somebody kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? Use that shit because you don't a lot of don't get no second chance. You know, luckily some of us get second chances, third chances, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But use that shit and quit all that cool shit, you know, and get into it over some words and shit. That's what rap was. Went against each other. You know what I'm saying? So all that corny ass about shooting up innocent mothers over what they done said, you know. Yeah, all that, you know what I'm saying? Use your talent before it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Far as the extra little other shit, yeah, we need to stop that shit. It's kind of hard coming from that. That's all we harped on. You know what I'm saying? But just like I was saying earlier, the older motherfuckers was trying to tell us stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't listening. You know what I'm saying? History just steady repeating itself, but it's getting worse. You know what I'm saying? To where now there's innocent that don't even got nothing to do with that bull. So stop that. Yeah, I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So my advice would be um don't get caught up in no shit you don't know nothing about, and just know you think you tough in a or can't nobody whatever, you know what I'm saying, with you or whatever. It's another that feel the same way and they'll tear your ass off the bone. So I mean, if that help.
So, what do you think it is? Like, why do you think the younger generation does things that really wasn't done prior to, like, prior generations didn't do a lot of stuff that's going on today?
I mean, they was raised kind of up, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I go back to. I feel like we kind of could have redirected that shit, but we ain't responsible for a lot of that go on in people's households. You know what I'm saying? So when they when we was coming up, you know, wasn't no, it was guns and shit, but you knew you had to go out there and fight. You know what I'm saying? But you let a fight another day. A lot of scared to get their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, oh, I gotta shoot this. Woo, woo, woo. But then you gone, you done kill them, and then they gonna kill your ass if they people catch up with you. Cause where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a 24-hour turnaround where I'm from, you know, and you know, just go on emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I'm tough. I'm so I'm finna do this, you know, and that dumb as a you know, and you don't realize the shit till they lock your ass up. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't trying to hear that shit. And yeah, don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? And I used to didn't think about shit either. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a time where I ain't give a if I lived or die. You know what I'm saying? But then I started understanding life and understanding how people think and shit like that. And it took me a long time. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like I grew up as a man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot of shit that don't make no sense. And then it's that's grown in a mother and they still doing that. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? But
I think it's a lot of people are like they're stuck in their ways,
Yeah.
right? And me personally, I feel like if you're stuck in your ways, you're weak minded
Mm.
because every day you should be progressing.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then you're stuck in your ways.
Yeah.
No matter how smart you are, no matter how much you think you know, I don't care how old you are. Every day that you get older, you should learn something new
Yeah.
and you should be progressing.
Right.
You should never be stuck,
Mm.
right? The only time you should be stuck is when you're in the ground because you're stuck in the ground.
Like he can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like, yeah, some people don't. I don't know, man. They just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Some people get it before they get too old. You know what I'm saying? But some people just don't get it. It be my that I be like, damn, too old for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I look at the shit I went through, and I be like, damn, you too goddamn old to be, you did that shit all this goddamn time. So I'm thankful that I woke up when I did before somebody me off, or I had to somebody off and my whole life off, and be on some selfish, because a lot of I feel like they know better. Well, I don't know. It feel like they should know better. That's how I think. You know what I'm saying? But I can't expect to think like me. But yeah, should know better about a lot of the little shit they do. But like you said, they mind don't be developed as other people. You know what I'm saying? So they don't get it. So they'll be the ones coming to you saying, "Man, you said this shit. Damn, man, you told me this shit." Because I'm dealing with shit that told me back then that I'm like, damn, this motherfucker said this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I just now get it. So I be damn often fuck that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because these are people that gave a fuck about me and said something. If not, they'd have let me just keep crashing out to where, I'd have been out of there. Damn, I told him. They'd have been at the casket, goddamn me. Like, damn, man, I wish he wouldn't have did this. I wish he wouldn't have did that. But yeah, I'm just thankful.
So you said something earlier about that it took a long time for you to kind of get it, right? And I want to ask, like, do you think it, because for the listeners that don't know, I mean, you was on a run for a long time, right? And I feel like you doing war tours, like you're doing. I feel like once you kind of like slow down a minute and you stop for a second, if you're moving super fast, a lot of times you don't even have time to process kind of what's going on.
Mm.
And then finally, when you either sit down or you get sat down,
Like a
then you kind of realize you get a chance to look at the writing on the wall and really reflect. Do you think that has a lot to do with it because you was on like a 25, 30-year run, which is, you, like I said, going on world tours, being around megastars or superstars, you've seen so much and you've got to see you've really seen every frame of the game. Like you've got to see everything. And then, but it's like when you get a time to sit down and reflect all that information, you get to process it.
Man. Yeah. And that didn't happen to a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? Once I really realized, damn, you went on tour with this, you did this. But my whole life, I always been wanted. When I went on the Up and Smoke tour with Dre and them, I was wanted. I couldn't go to Canada because I was scared. You know what I'm saying? They was gonna lock me up. And Dre was like, man, you killed somebody? And I was like, nah. I'm trying to, like, hell no, don't think about my shit. I'm wanted, just leave it at that. But my whole life, now I'm just now starting to get to see what it feel like for the police not looking for me to not be running around trying to sell dope. You know what I'm saying? For me to run around and not be on dope. You know what I'm saying? just a clear mind to process what life was doing. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't dealt with my mama, you know what I'm saying? My brother, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't really dealt with that till, like I said, a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it with me, it with me more. I guess that's why I was doing a lot of shit. But it with me to understand that I hadn't dealt with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it hit me more that, damn, what was you thinking? But like I said, my head wasn't clear, and now for my head to be clear, I think more rational. Like I said, I'm thankful for a clear mind, a better understanding with people, you know what I'm saying? Because I always felt like, damn, why don't think like me? You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking for, you know what I'm saying? So, I can't blame them for their misfaults or mishaps or whatever. So, yeah, I'm starting to now get adjusted to the shit because it's foreign. You know what I'm saying? I had never went through this. My head was always cloudy. Like I said, I was always on dope or going through with my on dope. You know what I'm saying? I was selling dope, uh, doing shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And I knew better. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, for me to be sat down, I was thankful for that shit, man. I was tired of that shit. All my partners going to the feds, you know, getting you know what I'm saying? And they right there with me. I see these one day, next day the feds hitting, next day this head, you know what I'm saying? And that shit right there in your face. Yeah, I got burnt out on that shit, you know? So, yeah, I'm just thankful for a lot of shit.
So, like, when do you remember the moment that you kind of knew to yourself, like, all right, it's time now? Like, when you said you got sat down, but was there something that happened that made you like, oh yeah, this time is for real, like this is it? You knew.
Yeah, it kind of happened way before they sat me down. I started kind of getting spooked, you know what I'm saying? So I stopped trying to sell dope, but I still was doing it, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, for like a year and a half, it was so much happening that I was like, damn, this must be God or the high power or the universe trying to tell me some shit. Like this one incident, my kinfolk, this bitch she was fucking with, that sold pussy, he said somebody kidnapped her. You know what I'm saying? So he come to me like, man, somebody kidnapped my, you know what I'm saying? Let me use your gun. So I'm like, nah, you can't use my gun. I'll go with you. You know what I'm saying? But hell nah. So time go on, they kind of boo, and I'm finna go scope some dope so I can sell to these people that's waiting at my door. I go to the little spot out of Lancaster, and shoot, as we leaving, I see the bitch. So I'm like, man, there's the bitch right there. I point out the window, and we just keep going. You know what I'm saying? So we go there and come back, and then I see the laws everywhere. I'm like, damn, they finna get somebody, and they get behind us. So I'm like, damn. So I'm riding with, I give him the dope. He stuff it in his little cash and shit. And they pull us over in this spot called the Central. And I'm spooked because I'm like, damn, what the going on? And they snatched them out the car. Get out, driver. Woo, woo, woo. Get out. And shit. So I'm trying to get out too. And they tell me, now, if you keep moving, we're going to shoot you. I'm like, shoot me? What the fuck? you know, so I'm tripping. I'm like, man, what the fuck they talking about? So I reach out the window, like, man, what is he talking about? And it's loud, pull up, and he snatched me out the car and shit. Like, why you shoot this man? I like, man, what you talking about, man? I ain't shot nobody. And they steady, do he got any more hostages in the car? I'm like, man, hostages? What are y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping. Cause I'm like, they ain't talking about me. And they held me for about 3 or 4 hours. Talking about I had shot some dude, you know what I'm saying? But the car that shot them came behind. We pulled out. They kind of like behind us. You know what I'm saying? They get into it. They see me point out the window, and they think I'm the on camera that shot them. So I'm like, damn. And that was some of the shit that just kept getting worse as the days went by. You know what I'm saying? I had already been through a lot of shit, but not just we up close every day. You know what I'm saying? On top of like I say, the addiction, you know what I'm saying? Doing the dope, you know what I'm saying? Not only am I selling it, but I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with that shit on top of other people's shit. You know, that shit is, yeah, that shit was like a burnout, man. And I just thank God and whatever is up there, you know what I'm saying, for the whole little turnaround. You know what I'm saying? Gave me some fentanyl. I thought it was cocaine, you know what I'm saying? I snort the shit. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is this? You know, this the cocaine you gave me? Nah, bitch, you know, woo, woo, woo. And shit, man, I woke up in a goddamn ambulance and I'm thinking it's a up dream. And it's the ambulance man, like, you all right now? I'm like, hell no, this fucked up. So I go back to sleep. All I remember is them saying, oh, we losing him again. We losing him again. So I go back to sleep. Wake up again. That is on this side. You know, he like, you all right now? So I'm like, damn, this is real. I'm like, man, what's going on? He's like, man, I don't know. You got a hold to some fentanyl or something. So man, I don't use fentanyl. But back then, you know, come to me and want fentanyl, I would get it for him, but I ain't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was scared of it. And this bitch put the wrong shit in the West collar. You know what I'm saying? So that shit, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of little shit that I ain't proud of this shit, but I feel like I need to be a open book because I could help somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because they got damn fentanyl. They ain't playing about that shit. You know, them goddamn pills that they think is perks and shit. That is some bull too. I used to sell them too. You know what I'm saying? But man, all that shit. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Got now grandbabies. You know what I'm saying? Got kids and shit. And yeah, that shit need to be redirected, man. You know, that's what the whole genocide was about. You know, trying to wake them up. You know, that was the motive and shit. But you know, life kind of show you its ass and shit, and kind of you up along the way. And I'm just here to tell my testimony. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. You know, don't feel up about what you go through, cause it's life. I'm a regular, even though I do music and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a regular too. You know what I'm saying? Before these found me, I was going through life. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with shit and shit. I just so happen to know how to put that together. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm still a normal, you know. So I feel like that'll be a cool little message to uplift some up.
Do you think that's why you're so humble? 'Cause I say this all the time. You're probably the most humble person I've ever met.
It's crazy. And I feel like I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? The more I used to be, you know what I'm saying? I yeah, I'm proud of how far I done came along. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people probably be like, man, that what the you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I yeah, I'm thankful. Like I said, a clear mind. I'm able to think before I do shit. There's a lot of the shit I used to do. Man, I used to hold at gunpoint, not knowing I'm half kidnapping them. You know what I'm saying? But my mind was stuck. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking right. But yeah, man. I always been a that I think about shit, but I used to react to a lot of shit before I think, and it be too late, you know. So I'm still dealing with that, you know. I'm still adapting to the change, you know. But it feel better. It feel good to wake up and not worry about having to go get some dope, you know what I'm saying, for not only but myself, you know what I'm saying. That shit feel a whole lot better, man. It's like, wow, you know. And I kind of get caught up in the fact of feeling like that to where I, to me, it make me feel lazy because I know what I'm normally, you know, but I guess that was that dope, you know what I'm saying? Be on go, like but I'm more calm. I'm calmer than I was, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I guess yeah, that's, that's why I'm just like, I'm just thankful to be here, man. You know what I'm saying? And be able to still speak on this shit.
So 6'2", I got one important question for you.
What's that?
Where's all these millions of dollars at?
What millions of dollars?
Oh, you ain't seen the Erotic D interview he did with Boss Talk? He's talking about all the millions that you got from the deals with Dre and them.
Hell nah. I wish, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, back then, you know, with me not knowing the music business and a lot of I signed a lot of shit that I shouldn't have. I just was taking the chance and the opportunity to with these cats, you know. You know, not nothing on Drea or whatnot, but the that brought that to my attention, you know what I'm saying? They had some paperwork, you know what I'm saying? And I signed that book not knowing that they getting paid this and that. And I ain't even know I was supposed to get a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, got no millions. I wish she, especially after the shit I done did, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, that's crazy. I still be hearing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But nah, ain't no millions, goddamn me. You know.
So do you think that is the music industry designed to over the artist?
Yeah, if you don't own your shit, you know what I'm saying? The record label, they pay for a lot of shit, so they gonna want their money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you as an artist, you just adding in on the shit. You know what I'm saying? You just the little face and shit. Yeah, they just it's like when put a prostitute out, you know what I'm saying? You gonna dress the bitch up, woo woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Make her look the part, but you gonna get all the money. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how that shit go. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, if you don't own most of the shit, the music, the words and shit in the company, you don't really stand no chance. That's why a lot of them doing shit independent, and to a certain extent, they only gonna let you get so far. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's like it's crazy, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You gotta crawl for you walk, I guess.
So with that whole situation, and if you don't mind, there's a chance if you want to kind of do like a rundown of your resume, like the songs you've been a part of that you can speak on. You've also done a lot of writing. You have a lot of writing credits and stuff too. So you could do like a rundown on what you've done in the industry.
I was on Dr. Dre album, The Chronic 2001, on a song called Explosive. I was on a song called, you know what I'm saying? For Timbaland. I wrote a lot of that was on Timbaland album that I didn't get credit for. You know what I'm saying? But one of the ones I did was this song called Release with me, Timbaland, and Justin Timberlake. I wrote a song for the Pussycat Dolls, me and Carrie Hilson. I wrote the song, but she kind of went back and made it fit the, you know what I'm saying? So that I wrote for Puffy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of he didn't use. I don't know if it's cause Timbaland or what, you know what I'm saying, or cause the Doc situation. I don't know, but yeah, it's a lot of I done wrote that I don't even remember that. I'm like, damn, I was doing so much shit, you know what I'm saying? Damn, they used that. They used that. And a lot of they didn't give me credit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot of I did some Cash Money. I don't really think they use that. That's another Doc situation. But yeah, it's a lot of that I'm do, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, don't give you credit for. And it don't be because it be because another done fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um,
So back then, I just got to bring it up because it's kind of current news. The whole you said Puffy, but Diddy. What do you think about what's going on with him right now? Have you seen that new documentary?
yeah.
Well, what do you think about that?
It's crazy. I never seen no shit like that. I went to I ain't go to the little after hour parties, you know what I'm saying? But Diddy threw a lot of little parties and shit that I went to, you know. But yeah, I ain't seen no weird ass like that, you know. That kind of fucked me up, you know, like damn, this freakazoid like that, you know what I'm saying? And woo woo. But I guess they try shit with they know fall for this, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah.
Do you think that all the stories about him are 100% true?
Like I said, I can't say because I ain't see no shit. And I stayed at his house when I went to South Beach. I was with Timberland first, and then once I started asking him about the Pussycat Dolls, he kind of started doing different shit, you know. But uh Puffy was like, "Man, come down here. I need you to help me with my album." And I went down there with him. But yeah, I ain't see no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that ain't none of my business. As long as shit, he ain't try that shit with me. Yeah, I ain't tripping.
Yeah, because I feel like, when you get to a certain level, right? Like you have people that they try to start rumors on you and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. Once you get that money, like to do anything to try to up your character, you know. I dealt with that shit. Like, man, Dre offered this $1 million and a pile of dope. You know what I'm saying? He took the dope. Ain't nobody. If offer me some money, I'm gonna get my own dope. Why the fuck that shit is dumb as a and for a even come at you with that shit? I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? But man, yeah, do a lot of little shit that I don't be understanding. That's why I stay out the way and don't really with people. You know what I'm saying? Because brain be little as a and they don't think. You know what I'm saying? Or they can't think. You know what I'm saying? And they do it and say a lot of dumb. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I hope he ain't do all that whole. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Money do a lot of little weird shit. But the shit that he had or have going on, it's kind of hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of bigger than what we think. You know what I'm saying? And the powers that be is a, you know what I'm saying? You can think you run this shit, but it's somebody higher up that run that shit, and they ain't trying to hear that shit. They got money to shut that shit down.
So to kind of touch on that, because you've been in the industry at a high level. You've been around at the top level, right? Is there truth in that? Like that there are these upper echelon people that control the music industry.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I feel like once you get to a certain bracket, you don't really run shit, you know what I'm saying? Because the that I'm talking about, these motherfuckers got money to make it look like it ain't supposed to look. You know what I mean? But then again, like I said, I don't know like a motherfucker, but it's a lot of shit I seen that I'm like, damn, somebody had to pay for that. You know, somebody had to pay for that because it was too strategic. It was too like, damn, how the fuck that happen when these don't even know me? You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like you got a voice to a certain extent. You know what I mean? It's can come hush your ass up overnight. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really play with a lot of people because I know where I come from. I come from where I don't even got that kind of money, but they can quiet your ass up. You know what I'm saying? So I can just imagine these got billions and shit like that, what they can do. So I really don't really test them waters. Um,
Do you think when an artist gets into the industry, do you think they can get trapped, right? Like I feel like kind of same topic, right? But I feel like I see a lot of this that goes on and it seems like it's like manipulation, right? Like they get some dirt on them and they kind of get trapped in a situation where I mean even in that Diddy seems like the more you kind of go through the industry, they're just accumulating dirt on you. And it's like either like you can get down with this or we can put your business out there.
yeah,
It's like a tactic.
yeah. They catch you in vulnerable moments, you know what I'm saying, where, oh, you did this. We'll tell you this and that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just all about who you is as a person or a you know what I'm saying, on how you do, you know what I'm saying? It's how you carry yourself, you know what I'm saying? I think they know, like I said, they know who they can with like that. Cause it's a lot of don't go through this. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that you don't be hearing. You know what I'm saying? Just one day they gone. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how this shit happen or no shit like that. But yeah, I feel like it's like how you carry yourself with them. You know what I'm saying? Or this, you know, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah. Have you been seeing what's going on with the Snoop stuff? Have you seen that with the royalties? And it's like, but I think it's been like, I think I seen something from Cocaine and Dax
Yeah.
Dillinger. Is that pretty common? The only reason I want to bring this up is because we kind of touched on your situation, what was going on with allegedly you got all this money and
Yeah.
right, this probably should have been coming to you, but like you said, you never saw it.
Yeah. It's surprising, especially coming from like Snoop. I feel like he would have been more fair to him, but I don't know the actual shit, so I can't really speak on it like that. But from my experience, that shit happened like a mother, you know what I'm saying? And then you be thinking, oh, damn, he got my back. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So you feel like, oh, they ain't gonna fuck me. But yeah, you know, money talks, you know, run a marathon. And it's kind of weird on them to be family like that, you know. That kind of with me, you know. But like I said, I ain't never had no money like that. But I don't think that would me like that. If a pay me, I'm gonna make sure every around me gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Regardless on what they done did. Oh, he did this, he did that. Everybody play a part, you know. But yeah, that is kind of shocking, you know. Snoop was trying to fuck with me on some shit too, but it was through Doc. So I really didn't want to fuck that because, you know, dealing with the Dre shit, I ain't know the outcome. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but shit, expect the unexpected, man. You know, and yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And it ain't like they forget that you helped or you did your part or whatever the case may be. But yeah, motherfuckers get worried when money involved. You know, that's why it's kind of you got to be skeptical about who you fuck with. You know?
Are we ever gonna see a 6'2" and an Eminem EP or album together?
Man, it need to be. It need to be. Eminem was trying to fuck with me when I was with Russell Simmons. Uh, I did this little tour that he had going on, and this before he did the G Unit and all this. But that's another situation that Doc, you know, Doc and them kind of fucked up and intervened with, you know. But yeah, that'll be some cool shit, you know, because when he first started with Dre, when Dre first let me hear his shit, I was like, man, that be jamming. You know what I'm saying? I kept saying, this jamming, this jamming. He kept saying, it ain't no nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, and then we go back the next day. He played the shit again, play this shit for Snoop. And I don't know, it just, when I first heard this shit, I was like, that's bad right here. You know what I'm saying? And shit, once me and him started getting cool and shit, in probably like 3 months, this was the biggest thing in America. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that'll be some cool shit.
How would you even you'd have to how would you even rap against on like if you got on a song with Eminem, how would you even come on a song like that? You got to
I
do
mean,
some that old 6'2", right? Some of the you know tear him apart shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't really rap against him. I would just get in where where I feel like I play a good part. You know what I'm saying? Let him do what he do, cause he good at that shit too. Now, if it was my shit, I would be like, man, I need you on this. I need you to be like this. So whatever type of shit he come up with, I already know it's gonna be a bad moment. So I would just do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, that was cold from the jump. You know, and can say what they want, but yeah, that changed a lot of on what I think. You know what I'm saying? Whether you blue, brown, or green, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I mean? Talent is talent. You know.
So speaking of talent, who do you would you say is the most talented person that you've ever worked with? 'Cause you're extremely talented yourself, right? So real recognize real. When you've been around, who would you say is the one where you just like, oh, they just got a certain level of talent that you really haven't seen before?
Damn. Busta Rhymes. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of spooked once I started with him with Timbaland. Like we did this. Damn, I forgot the name of that song. That's one of the ones I didn't get credit for. I don't know if he even used that for some shit. But Busta Rhymes. I knew I would have to come with my best shit with Eminem. Um, Let me see. Your corrupts. Your you know. Luckily I fitted in with him and Nate. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a lot of different that I can't really pinpoint at the moment. But yeah, it was like, yeah, I gotta be on my shit with them. So yeah. So far, them couple, you know what I'm saying? DMX. I was trying to do some shit with DMX. Well, I had did a show with Cash Money, you know what I'm saying? And man, DMX, his show, man, her was ridiculous, man. I'm talking about, and he just warming up the goddamn crowd, you know what I'm saying? But his mic check spooked you to where you could just only know what to expect. Once this get out there and start saying this shit, man, so you know. So yeah, I always knew that just like these around me, it's a million more, and it's way before me. So yeah, like I said, I just get in where I strategically fit. You know what I'm saying? And but just know, goddamn me, I'm gonna come with that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Every goddamn time. So yeah, it ain't nobody I can't really just with, you know. But yeah, I'll give you a run for your money. But yeah, yeah, we off and running like a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So being from Fort Worth, right? This city has so much talent. It's such a
Right.
talented place from movie stars to producers to content creators to artists. Like, why do you think there's so much talent here? And there's a lot of talent, a lot of talented people here that they don't even get the recognition.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much talent in the city. Why do you think there's so much talent here?
I mean, it's been like that. It's been like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people they come and getting them from other places too, but that's where they come and getting them from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they getting them from Dallas too, but the more that oh damn, I ain't know he was from Fort Worth. Oh damn, I ain't know that Fort Worth. even what's the name used to sing? The Twins.
The Whispers.
That type.
Right.
Way back then. See?
Right.
Way back then. You know what I'm saying? But that been going on. It's just we don't really get the recognition we supposed to get, and at the same time, from the what I done experienced, we kind of, I don't know, I don't know if it should be just easy, but we kind of it off, you know what I'm saying, and feel like, you know, I don't know, man. It's weird, and I feel like it's a lot of coming from her that people don't get they just dues or they recognition and but like you said, from the comedians, from the R&B, you know what I'm saying, the rap, you know what I'm saying, it's the country, you know what I'm saying, it's a bunch of that is cold as a mother, but they it's like they spook of some you know what I'm saying, they feel like, oh, if this blow up, he gonna forget about me and like that, when they ain't like that. We're the most wholesomest it is, you know what I'm saying. We understand, you know, that a go through. We don't think like, oh, if I'm what's called, I'm gonna leave everybody behind. We don't think like that, you know what I'm saying. But don't give us a chance to show them. I feel like that play a big factor in a lot of.
Yeah, I feel like there's internal hate in the city too that I kind of see but it's not really competition.
Yeah,
It's like some hate.
Yeah, because people don't want to see us doing better than them, and that's crazy. If we all came together, we'll get further.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of, they say the crab is in the bucket shit. That's kind of like cliche or whatever, but that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Oh damn, this got higher than me, so I'm gonna snatch him down. You know, woo woo woo. Damn, this woo woo woo. So I'm gonna on his name, and yeah, I don't get a lot of that corny shit. You know? So I don't know.
So would you think that like compared to other cities, because I asked Supreme, right, from the Bob Report, I asked him this question because he spent a lot of time in Atlanta. Do you think Fort Worth is kind of becoming like the next Atlanta, where it's almost becoming like this hub of talent, where you got major studios coming out here, labels are trying to get spots in this DFW area. I feel like this might be, I think DFW is next,
Yeah,
as far as being one of those music hubs.
yeah. I mean, I feel like they finally getting a chance to use their voice and speak out and do what they do. But it keep coming this way. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I hope that this go round take advantage. You know what I'm saying? And go and grasp that shit. But we ain't like nobody else. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody done had their little run, but I guarantee you they're gonna be like her.
Right, because it's from every angle.
Man,
You got like it's everybody.
it's like little sick. You know what I'm saying? This he can play all kind of instruments, and he can go outside the gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to hear that shit. He trying to bring together. You know what I'm saying? That type shit. You know what I'm saying? We more versatile. You know what I'm saying? We can go anywhere with the shit. You know what I'm saying? We can do that little country slang at, you know. We can do that New York type shit or whatever. That's what they call it. But it's like we don't really put ourselves in no box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just do what we do and express ourselves. So I feel like once that shit really surface like it's supposed to, it's gonna do a lot. You know? And I don't know if that's why I'm be spooked, you know what I'm saying, and scared to let us, not that they scared to let us, they scared of being left behind type shit. You know, I don't know if that's why they act like that, to where they kind of shit on the situation or whatever. But yeah, once this just really open all the way up, and like you say, the light already shining, but once they see the goddamn rose or flower or whatever the fuck it is, diamond, coming out this bitch, they gonna be like, damn, we knew this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right, because it's like there's so many talented people here. Like I said, it's music, it's like I said,
Comedy
internet
shit.
personality,
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that shit's it's coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like they can't stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Gotta stay on my grind and get my money right. Gotta make sure me and my brothers hustle through the night. Me and my niggas, we gon' swing, we gon' blow that pipe. Hop out on your block with thunder clapping when we make it strike. Hop on feet, hop out, give 'em smoke, gon' be a can.